стоянка таунхаусу, в яких проживало біля 25 дітей, 16 сімей. І ось так прийшов руський мір і приніс жахіття. А за цим столиком, можливо, сиділи, безперечно, сиділи люди, пили каву і ось так. Да, цікава думка зараз буде. От у цього хлопця запитаємо, що він тут робить. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Yes, sir.
What country are you from?
I am from the Netherlands.
Please tell, what do you think about all of this you can see?
Well, as you see, it's just tons of destructions. I have seen pictures, heard the stories of someone who lived in a house just next to this one. The stories of how the chaos looked when they fled from the oncoming Russians, how they marked lost children without parents so they could be traced back to their parents if in case of emergency. We've seen pictures of what the Russians did to ordinary families, how they were buried in their own backyards with mom, dad and child being murdered ruthlessly.
Okay, and what do you do here?
We are currently working in one of these houses. We are clearing the rubble because the structure is still sound, and we are trying to help the owner get back on track, get ready to renovate his house, a house that was only 3 years old, and maybe give him a prospect of being able to live here in the future.
In future, interesting. Tell us, please, do you believe in a wonderful future for Ukraine?
I think it's not a question of whether Ukraine can achieve this. I think it is more a necessity. If Ukraine does not win the current war, then it will not have a bright future. If negotiations with Russia are in place, then Russia will just come back and try to take more of Ukraine 10-15 years later. So Ukraine needs to win this war in order to achieve this future. I think there is a wonderful future in the European Union and in NATO for Ukraine. There is of course a lot of issues that need to be overcome. There is a cultural difference, there is an economical difference, and there is still a remnant of corruption in Ukraine, which is being addressed. In contrast to Russia, which only fuels their corruption. But Ukraine needs to win this war in order to have something of a future for itself, and not just as a Russian puppet state or part of Russia.
Okay, and tell please something for our people. What is your maybe advice for all of us?
I do not think it is my place to give you advice. I come from a nation which has only been at peace for well over 80 years. We are far behind NATO's lines. We will never see combat like Ukraine is seeing right now. I cannot give your people advice from my own side because I have never experienced and will never experience something like this. What I can say is that I admire the Ukrainian people in their bravery to keep going on, to keep living their lives, to keep rebuilding even though the threat is still so real. I admire the Ukrainian people for that, and I think we can learn a lot from them.
Thank you very much for your coming
You're
here
welcome.
to Ukraine.